Glad that you're still watching KBC Channel 1. This is Good Morning Kenya. My name is Mike Migwe. Christmas season it is, and this is a time when people and goods move. The movement of people and goods spikes. And also, when you look at on matters to do with road safety, there's a spike in accidents, there's a spike in loss of life when it comes to this season. And today we want to just look at the matters to do with road safety and the fact that the National Commission on Administration of Justice came up with a raft of measures to be implemented during this festive season, one of which is the introduction of mobile code. That forms the premise of our discussion this morning, and in studio I'm joined by Dr. Frederick Ochieng, who is the traffic commandant from the National Police Service. Welcome to Good Morning Kenya.
Thank you.
And also, I'm also joined by Mr. Paul Ndemo, who is the Deputy Chief Registrar, Judiciary and also Judiciary Spokesperson. Karibu sana for Good Morning Kenya.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Karibu sana. And also Kefa Mongara, who is the Chief Principal Defensive Driving Trainer and Sergeant Driver at Kenya Prisons Service. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
I'm also joined by Madam Dorcas Rugut, who is the Assistant Director and Head of Nairobi Region Office of the Director of Public Prosecution. Karibu sana to Good Morning Kenya.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
And last but not least, Stephen Karoga, who is the Head of Corporate Affairs and Communications from the EACC. Karibu sana to Good Morning Kenya.
Thank you very much for having us.
Yes, karibu sana. Now, let's get into this discussion. And with the most obvious. Yes. I'll start with you, Mr. Paul. What changes when it comes to Christmas time? Because that is when we see a rise in accidents, we see a rise in loss of lives, because people are traveling to and from the rural areas. But you look at the normal times of the year, yes, there is movement, but the kind of movement that happens during this time is different, and the accidents and loss of life rises. What changes during that time?
That's a very interesting question, because we actually wonder. It's as if there is there's a sort of a psyche that people have, that the holidays are here, the season is here, so we need to rush. I need to rush and get where I'm going. And during the press conference that was held on Monday,
yes,
that was issued by the National Council on the Administration of Justice, the Chief Justice in her statement made a very interesting remark, and she said, the way we behave sometimes, it is as if the places we are going for holiday is a moving target. It is not a moving target. And the way we rush, the way we overlap on the roads, the way we misconduct ourselves on the road, really exposes us to so much danger. And it is completely unnecessary. So it's something that we really don't understand why. At that time, everybody's feeling the need to rush, overlap, speed, drink, drive under influence, obstruct, and then you end up causing such difficulties on the road for other users, and even to the people you yourselves are carrying on the road.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dr. Frederick.
Yes.
You're the commandant of the traffic. From your perspective, even as a Kenyan, what do you think changes during this festive season?
Oh, thank you. On my own perspective, and having carried some of the research as to why this movement during this Christmas Eve, one of the factors being that the holidays are successive, the 25th and the 26th. When you look at the calendar of the year, there's no any other holidays that follow successively the way it's a Christmas and a Boxing Day. So they have quite a number of days not reporting duties. So people opt to do it.
Allow me to cut you short on your mic, I'm told, is having problems, but I'll come back to you. But Kefa, you do defensive training for drivers.
Yes.
But then again, you look at the behavior of drivers on the road during the festive season.
Yes.
What do you think changes?
What I can say, those drivers know that they are not well trained. the problem is a greater money during this season. And then mostly weak management of the circles because they are after money. They are not doing proper arrangements for their drivers for speeding on the road, and mostly fatigue. They are not managing for shifts. You know, one driver from here to a long distance to Kisumu at night, and at the same time, it's the same driver at the daytime back to Nairobi. This driver unakuta mental health problem and develop because of this. Because unakuta they are under influence. That's the only problem I can say in most of accidents during this season. And mostly we have new drivers. They have the vehicle, they start moving around distance, whereby they are not well trained or having enough experience for traveling in a long distance. Those new drivers, mostly they are causing a lot of accidents on the road. And in training, schools, driving schools, some of the subjects trainers are not well trained. Like now, basic mechanic. Every driver must know about basic mechanic and the consequence. These new vehicles nowadays, they show you danger signals before anything. And these signals can show you something can happen. Even the brakes are wearing out. So to maintain that vehicle. So unakuta some drivers doesn't know the meaning of those signals in instrument lights and gauges. Some of them they don't know the meanings. That's why mostly drivers are complaining that brake failure. There is no brake failure.
And even so, they do not understand those warning signs on the dashboard.
No, they don't. They don't understand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe before I come to Madam Dorcas, going back to Dr. Frederick here, you are executing your points on why, from your perspective, you think the mic was okay. These accidents do pile up during the festive season. If you may continue on that.
Yes, I start again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I may bring it to your attention that this movement during the festive seasons, there are more movement because of the holidays that follow one another, successive holidays. Yes. 25th is a Christmas holiday, 26th is a Boxing Day. So there's quite a number of some days before the public servants and even other workers don't report on duty. So, and it is also like a culture that Kenyans have developed, and it is not only Kenyans, mostly Christians have developed, that during the festive season, schools are also closed. Yes. There's that movement. In fact, it is movement from urban to rural. And every person would want to reach home, even if the fare is increased to how much. Yes. So, and then that is where you will even find vehicles even moving routes that they are not used to. New drivers, new vehicles. Every person, a vehicle that has been lying there for years, for some times, without moving for far. That's the time that they even now drive from Nairobi to rural homes. So it is just like that one. I can term it as urban, rural migration or movement. Yes.
Madam Dorcas, is it that people don't plan for these trips early enough, or what happens?
I don't think people do not plan. They plan, and that is why they all travel at the same time. So that you find on 24th, 23rd, everyone is busy rushing up country. And we all have this belief that we all have to get home. We have to be with our parents, our families. So everyone is in a rush. People are overchecking on continuous yellow lines. People are obstructing. So it's something that people have planned, but then they've been in town all through. So on during December is when they decide, let us now rush up country for these festivities. Yeah. Yes, so people are in a rush.
Stephen, is it that to some extent, have we normalized this as a people? Because every time December inafika, we start hearing accidents here and there, and the rate goes up, loss of life also goes up. Have we, in a way, at the back of our minds, normalized that things have to happen in December?
We haven't quite appreciated the impact of some of the decisions we do. In my view, nothing changes. I think the size of the road is the same. The only thing that changes is the our mental thinking around that period.
Yes.
There's a feeling of urgency, like you need to get to your destination. And as one of the panelists have said, it's not a moving target. But however, every Kenyan feels you need to get to your destination as fast as possible. So most of the time you will find some of the issues and the accidents that come, they are quite avoidable. However, there is a tendency of everyone moving around the same period, and then everyone converges on the main highways around the same time, causing pileups. And if there is any probability of rain, for example, that even makes it even worse. So I don't think there is much that changes. Only it is our mental approach to the issue and the need for everyone feeling they need to get to their destination as fast as possible.
Yes. Let's come to the introduction of mobile codes, and I'll start with you, Mr. Paul. What was it necessary that these codes had to be introduced, and especially during this time?
Thank you, Mike, for that question. So you find that because of the surge that we've talked about in traffic, you have a number of people that are offending, committing traffic offenses. And it becomes very difficult for law enforcement then to effectively manage what's happening. When people think that nothing is going to be done, you can overlap, you can speed, you can obstruct, and nothing will be done, then there is actually a breakdown of law and order, and it becomes extremely difficult now for the police and the other enforcers to ensure that things are working. So when the National Council on the Administration of Justice came together, one of the recommendations, which we have now taken up very quickly, was let us set up the courts to be on duty along the routes, particularly the major highways, so that when someone is caught by the police committing a traffic offense, then you will be arrested on the spot, you will be processed by the office of the DPP, you will be brought to court, the court will take the plea there, and if you plead guilty, you are fined on the spot, and you are released you pay the fine, then you are released to proceed on your journey. So the idea was twofold. One, for us to quickly ensure that those that are caught offending are, charged and they are brought to justice, and they are able to pay the fine if they plead guilty, and then they can move along with their journey. So the first aspect is just making sure that there is quick justice. The second one is also that people are not inconvenienced. So even if you have committed an offense, which you shouldn't, but even if you've committed an offense, then we don't want to inconvenience people. Because as we have had, there is a very high movement, and we want to ensure that people go and celebrate with their loved ones, they go on their holidays, they go for their journeys. So we quickly, have this court, and we are working with all the partners, the DPP, the police, the prison service, EACC. So all of us working together, you commit the offense, you are charged, you are fined, and then you can proceed on your journey, and you also don't have to block other people. And we have actually notified all our courts across the country, 143 courts across the country, to be on standby to enhance their sittings. But those that are along the major highways are the ones that we have said these ones need now to have even greater capacity for this time to handle. So it is across the country, but along the major highways, Mombasa Highway towards Nyeri, towards Nakuru, towards Western, we have beefed up and even had engagements with our judicial officers to tell them, let's get ready, increase the number of staff. This is how you're going to do this, just to make sure that we are helping our people not to have unnecessary accidents and crashes, that affect us. Yes.
Two things.
Yes.
What happens if someone does not plead guilty?
Yes.
And number two, what happens if they are unable to raise the fine at that moment?
So if someone does not plead guilty, then they will be given a hearing date where they can now come and have the case heard, but it will be at a different time. It will not be during this period. So at that time they'll be given a cash bill. Now if they are not able to raise the cash bill, that is why we have Bwana Kefa here. And they will be escorted by the prison to be kept in remand.
Yes.
But we do not anticipate that there will be a lot of that. But arrangements have already been made. Where you're not able to raise the cash bail, then you will be kept in custody until you're either able to raise the cash bail or until the date of your hearing, that will be at a later date, for the matter to be handled.
Indeed.
Yes.
When we come back from this short break, we'll be looking at how this now is going to enhance how the traffic police will be operating on the roads, and that is something that we are going to discuss after we come back from this short break. Stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. You're still watching Good Morning Kenya, and we're talking about road safety so that we can have great festivities. Now the introduction of this mobile court Daktari, how do you see them changing the way the traffic police operate on the road going forward?
Thank you. I think this, in the first instance, it will hasten at least justice. That justice delayed is justice denied. Yes. So you can just imagine a process where a suspect is arrested along the road. He's given a cash bail if he's able to raise the cash bail. If he's not able to raise the cash bail, he's taken to court there. He takes plea. If it's a fine or a sentence, just on the same day and within a very short time. Unlike the normal process where the suspect is arrested along the road, is taken to a police station, and then may be taken to court the following day. So I think this one will hasten the process. We'll not even have those even congestions at the police stations, because we'll have the courts in progress. And it also allow even the people traveling home to be able to finish up with their cases and continue up with their journeys. And it is also good because it is also a preventive measure. People look at what is happening along the road. Justice is dispensed immediately, and then it acts as a preventive measures even to the rogue drivers and people who violate traffic rules along the roads. Because some of these things happen because of the advantage, in the sense that there's no such practice or process going on along our normal roads. But when such practice is in process, then it acts as a deterrence. Yes.
Mr. Kefa, yes. Mongare, Kenyans may wonder what is prison service doing as part of this festive season traffic enforcement. But I would want you to talk about the role that you are playing as Kenya Prisons Service in these mobile court operations.
As a Kenyan Prison Service, I am there as a trainer, at the same time a driver. And I'm also training other institutions outside prisons service. We are training about road safety for our drivers in Kenya to understand what is going on the road, and to reform them whereby they are going wrong. Like now, we have a combination of immediate factors which are affecting drivers and some other people who are traveling on the road. more especially, we find that most of the pedestrians are dying because of innocent. Drivers are overspeeding. Drivers are not maintaining the laws of Kenya, rules and regulations, which are given. Bad safe carriages, they are maintaining carriages. They are well trained, but they grow with carriages from the other people. Distractions also make our drivers cause an accidents. Sometimes using phones, using mirror, using drugs, and the other things which are affecting them.
Driving under the influence.
Yeah, under the influence. At the same time, we have road rage factors. Road rage factors, there are some other drivers who are being influenced by drugs and some other things. They don't care. They are there as drivers, but don't care. They don't follow the rules and regulations. That's why they are killing people. We come to the management of circles. In circles, we have weak management because most of the managers are not trained fleet management. They don't know how to manage their drivers and to understand their problems. They don't understand the road rules, the road rules and regulations, whereby drivers are having, most of the drivers are having mental problems. What I can say, if drivers follow the rules and regulations of the laws of Kenya, they may respect the rules and regulations and the police officers on the road, because the police officers are the final manager on the road. They are there to guide them and to make them to remember what is going to happen, what's wrong and what's good on the road.
Yes, indeed. Dorcas, you are part of this initiative of establishment of mobile courts. Talk about the ODPP's role in all this, especially now that we are going to have those mobile courts along major highways in the country.
Thank you. After Daktari makes the arrest, then we as the office of the DPP come in. They present the charge sheet to us. We look at the charge sheet, which we confirm that an offense has been disclosed. If it has not been disclosed, then we will amend. If we see the need, we will review, decline, or approve it. And then it moves to the next stage, which is where we load and it goes to court. Our role in court is basically to prosecute. So we'll appear alongside the judicial officer to prosecute the matter. Yes.
So, in terms of the speed at which these cases are dispensed, how will you ensure that this speed does not compromise on the quality of prosecutions and even fairness to the accused persons?
We said where the mobile courts will be is where the ODPP will also be. So there's fairness, there's timely dispensation of justice,
Yes.
and we ensure that the rights of the accused person are actually adhered to. Yes.
Indeed. Stephen, you know, festive season comes with a lot of things, and we cannot say that corruption is not one of the things that may come with this festive season. So what is your role in all these mobile courts, given that this is a multi-agency approach to help and reduce accidents and death on the roads?
Let me put it this way, that corruption is an enabler of impunity and a significant contributor when it comes to road carnage. We have a critical role to ensure that the system which has been put in place by the NCAJ is efficient and works properly. There are likelihood of corrupt elements infiltrating that system, be it at the point of detection, at the point of apprehension, at the point where the suspect is arraigned in court and even during the process itself. So as the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, we will be playing two critical roles. One is integrity testing. So basically, integrity testing is where an officer, an undercover officer, presents himself or else overspeeds or overloads his motor vehicle or drives without documentation. And if he is stopped by the traffic enforcement officers and they demand for a bribe or to try and circumvent the justice process, then we can use that evidence to either take disciplinary action, and if it meets the criminal threshold, then criminal action can be taken as well. So we will be doing a lot of integrity testing. And let me put it this way, in the last financial year, we did about 166 integrity tests, focusing on different points of service delivery, be it hospitals, the national police, and many other immigration and such. And out of that, about 152 of those tests failed, which means either there was a demand for a bribe or even the person who was arrested offered to give a bribe. 4 of them passed and 10 were inconclusive. What I mean with inconclusive is probably, let's say, for example, a traffic officer requests for to see your driving license. But he then leaves and attends to other functions or other duties and leaves you in the car. Basically, he's not demanding, but he's frustrating you so that the stakes can go higher. So we will be doing integrity testing. The second issue that we'll be doing to support this process is monitoring the entire process. So our officers will be deployed in most of the major highways and corruption-prone areas, the urban areas, and they will be able to monitor how the enforcement is being conducted. And that will, the outcome of that is to give advisory to the entire NCAJ team for purposes of making sure there is efficiency from the point someone is stopped until when the justice system, the tail end of the justice system.
Yes, the introduction of these mobile courts, from where you stand, because it will be fast-tracking these prosecutions, do you see them reducing opportunities for corruption or maybe create new risks?
They will reduce the opportunities of corruption significantly. As I mentioned, based on our experience, most of the time people tend to feel the frustration. Maybe you are heading to a very long drive, you've been stopped and then taken to the police, takes a lot of time, you have to again be taken to court, and people prefer to either part away with something so that at least they can cut that period of time, that it will be wasted. And that's why we are saying introduction of this is a very welcome, because the turnaround time will be very fast. And we ought our appeal to members of the public: do not pay bribe. The process will be smooth. If you have found and you plead guilty, then you can pay your penalty and proceed with your journey wherever you are going. So the fact that this has been brought, the services have been brought closer to the people, it will reduce the opportunities of corruption.
Indeed.
Mike, if you allow me to just add something
yes.
on that, on the courts. The way we have structured this engagement is threefold. So that, one, we have in most of the hotspots, so to speak, we have our courts already in existence. So the courts will actually be sitting at the court itself, the court premises. So that is the first one, where people will be brought physically to the court if it is near where the arrest has been done. So it's the proximity. The second one will be, we can have, and we've already arranged to have virtual virtual hearings. So somebody may be arrested, taken to the police station, but then a connection is then made once we have, once the DPP has approved the charges, a link will be sent from there, and I mean from the court to the accused person and to the DPP, so that the magistrate will be in court, the person who is accused will be at the police station, so they don't have to move, and the plea taking will be done virtually. Then the third one, in instances where we have the location where the arrest has been made is a little far from the court, and we don't have that possibility of the link, then the court itself, the magistrate, will go to the police station where the person has been arrested and the case is conducted there. So we'll have those three scenarios just to ensure that they speed in terms of the delivery of justice. Yes.
Daktari, when we talk about these traffic offenses and preventing these unnecessary accidents, now that we have mobile courts, what are some of the offenses that these courts will be trying?
Okay. These courts, now the traffic offenses, because they are only exclusively for traffic offenses, most of the cases that they will be trying will be overspeeding. Drivers or motorists driving at a speed exceeding the maximum speed limit of a given road. And then they will also try offenses like driving under the influence of alcohol. And in this perspective, the officers will be using the alcohol blow and the breathalyzers to test the drivers who are driving under the influence of alcohol. And then there is this also careless driving by motorists, such that you find that these drivers, some of them just overlap. They are overlapping when the road is not even clear. They don't take due care of other road users. Some of them even overtake a fleet of motor vehicles at the same time, not even caring whether the other lane is clear for them to overtake. And even if the lane is clear, it is good for a trained driver, because the markings at the road are put by the road engineers. So even if the road is clear, but there is that continuous yellow line, which prevents a driver from crossing his lane to the other lane, they must just keep to that lane. So careless driving, and also inexperienced drivers. There are even drivers that are driving classes of motor vehicle that they are not authorized to drive. And these are the experienced drivers that cause accidents. And then those other drivers that don't even observe any traffic signs or any traffic rules, those careless drivers, those are the type of the cases that will be tried at these mobile courts. And those drivers that are driving motor vehicles which are mechanically unsound. Yeah. Yes.
Some people may have the fears that these mobile courts could be abused. Are there rules for officers that they are working under in this arrangement that is, or this approach of multi-agency with regard to the mobile courts? Are there clear rules for officers that they must stick to when dealing with people and these mobile courts?
Yeah, thank you. All officers, before they go out for any deployment of duties, there is always a briefing. Every morning, even if they had been briefed initially, but every morning there is a briefing for that particular day of work. So these officers, they are under briefing on what they are supposed to do while they are carrying out those duties with other agencies, because it is a multi-agencies, and we even invited other agencies that may partner with us in the road safeties. And we opened, and we even in previous meetings, we even invited other agencies to come and ride on the powers that police officers have, power to stop. We will stop vehicles for them, and they conduct inspections, or they conduct inspection on other relevant documents that is required of a driver or from the motor vehicle. A motor vehicle which is not compliant, then the officers are there, arrest them, and then just take them to the ODPP just next there, and the ODPP hand them over to the magistrate, and the case is over. Yes, so the officers are adequately under proper briefing on every day's event. Yes.
Sorry, Mike, it may be good just to add on terms of cases. Okay. We have, last year alone, we had 62,900. 900 cases, traffic cases alone. Yes. The leading in the cases that were filed is actually on obstruction. Obstruction was number 1. The second leading case was about contravening the Insurance Act. So I think people not having insurance, just what Dr. Cheng is talking about. And then the third one is driving under influence. So in terms of the top 3, that is what was filed last year. And in the first quarter of this year, that again is the same trend. Those again are the top 3. Yes.
Okay. Kefa, what would you advise people when it comes to the aspect of being not familiar with the roads they are using? Because we are at a season where we'll have car hires, people will hire cars to go to areas that some of the drivers do not know. What would you advise people driving, especially when it comes to areas that they are not familiar with?
What I can say, there is a formula we are using when we are driving on the road. We have SAA, assess, yani see, assess, and act accordingly. That is a formula we are supposed to use. When we are on the road, the new road, you drive 360 degrees or over, where you see from these sides. In the case of anything, you are able to control your vehicle. But don't drive like now we have a new road from Ngong to Suswa. It has a lot of meanders. It has a lot of bumps which are not seen. That's where we can, with their drivers, drive where you see, but don't drive to see where you don't see. And drive as a speed where you can control your vehicle.
That is a very important aspect you say. Drive where you see.
Drive where you see, but don't drive to see where you don't see.
Okay. That is very
you drive as a speed which you can control. 360 degrees or over. It is not easier to cause an accident that the road is bad. No. You drive, you are expecting anything can happen bad. So you must be very careful. You must be very vigilant. Like now, this road from Ngong is a new road, but a lot of meanders, a lot of corners from Ngong to Suswa. Bumps which are not seen. Some other bumps are being put in there by the community. Potholes. These are the things which are affecting most of our drivers, most of the new drivers. And a new driver, or even an old driver, you drive 200 kilometers, you have arrest. You check your vehicle, and then you can proceed with your journey. Yes. Don't drive all over from here to Kisii. No, it can't work. And a new driver, like now we have new drivers, they are hiring the vehicle, putting the family inside, and then he's using drugs on the road. Most of the people are dying on the road because of that. I can advise them to drive without using alcohol, without any drug. Drive ukiwa sober.
Because it's an offense to drive under.
It's an offense. Don't. Usichungana na polisi, unachungana na polisi ya nini? Tumepita. Chungana na your life.
Yes.
Yeah. First of all, chungana your life and the other road users. You drive as a speed, which is required speed. The speeds are given. Like now, you drive as per the road signs. Road signs are alive. Those are not living things, are alive. They are giving you the information. They are warning you. If you are using all those road signs, and sometimes road signs are not there, you use your common sense. We have 5 senses, but the number 6 for a driver is a common sense. Yeah. So we have to use highway code. We have to learn more all the time. That's why NTSA sometimes some years back wanted drivers to be trained after 3 years. Vehicles are changing, are coming new vehicles. So you must be trained about those vehicles. Gari ya zamani si ya saa hii. Sasa road markings are not there. Don't blame road markings are not there to cause an accident. You drive where you see, as I've said. Bumps are there, which are not seen. Those are also causing most of the accidents on the road. We have observation. Some other drivers, to me, I request the government, kama ingewezekana, our drivers to go for medical checkup after some duration. Some other people, they don't know whether they are sick, ugonjwa wa sukari, diabetes, they don't know. Maji naenda kupotea pole pole. And then you cause an accident. You are driving at night. Night is a very task when you are driving during the night season. Yeah.
All right. Dorcas, you know...
Maybe before you go to Dorcas,
Okay.
if you may allow me to contribute a little.
Yes.
On drivers, people that hire vehicles, and then they use those vehicles while driving home. In the first instance, I would advise them that even if they have hired the vehicles, in the first instance, they should first look at the vehicle, if the vehicle itself is mechanically sound. Mm-hmm. Because it is sometimes this mechanical defects that come up along the road as they are driving, and then you find an accident. And also, if they are driving in roads that they are not familiar with, because most of our roads, we have a problem of poor road infrastructure. The National Police Service has done a survey, and we have done assessment of all roads within the Republic, county by county. We have been able to identify hotspot areas. We have identified areas that don't have a proper road signage. And these drivers may not be able to know those areas. But this report we have shared with the NTSA, we have shared with the KENHA, we have shared with the KERA, but not much is done. So if drivers, if they happen to drive in roads that they are not familiar with, there is need to observe the road signage, where there are road signage. Sometimes some road signage were also erected by the KENHA or the KERA, but they have been vandalized by the locals. So you find that they were there, but then they have been vandalized by the locals, and nobody has even reported to the NTS or the agencies concerned. So there's that need for them to observe those road signages and the road markings, just as I had explained earlier on, that you may find that there's a road meandering, and you'll find that there's a continuous yellow line that had been designed there by the road engineer. So even if the road is clear, it may not be clear for long. It can only be clear just a short. And before you overtake, if you are driving, another vehicle will have come from the opposite direction. So they need just to stick to the road signs. They should not overlap or cross to the other lane when there's a continuous yellow line that is preventing them from crossing their lane to the other lane. And they must also be observant. Overspeeding also makes the drivers to lose at least the control of the vehicle. Sometimes if they overspeed, and then the problem is the road infrastructure. Sometimes it had rained and it has potholes, and then those potholes are filled by water. They may not be able to know the depth of that pothole. So that is why we always advise that there should be driving at a recommended speed, and in a particular road that the motorists are not familiar with, let them drive at a moderate speed. Thank you.
I'm told we are out of time, but I'm going to give you each one of you 30 seconds to give your closing remarks. Of course, this is something that we can take all day speaking about because it's important. Lives are being lost. But then again, we have to do something. Let me start with you, Stephen, on your message to Kenyans in as far as road safety is concerned as we close.
As we close, I would like to call upon all Kenyans to respect life, to protect life, to uphold integrity during this festive season. Let us exercise patience, a little bit of patience, and promote safety on our roads. In case you encounter any incident of corruption, you can report to us on our toll-free number, which is 1551. You can visit our offices across the country, and you can also report anonymously on our website. And I also want to wish Kenyans a happy festive season.
Yes, indeed. That is very, very important. Madam Dorcas.
Yes, I would like to tell Kenyans to be careful on the road, follow the law. If you need to take a rest, especially for matatu drivers. If you need to take a rest, please take a rest. It's important to arrive alive, yes, and to wish them a Merry Christmas.
Arrive alive. That is very important. Kefa.
What I can say for our Kenyans is to promote each other for road safety, and also promote me for this book. It's Advanced Driving Guidebook. Yes. Yeah. And I wish them Merry Christmas with a better life.
Where can they get that book?
The book is 500 each. It's a very good book. You read it with you using your phone.
Where? Oh, it's even electronic.
Yeah.
E-book. An e-book.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Daktari.
Yes. Thank you. My message for members of the public is that road safety is a responsibility of every road user. When I say every road user, I mean the driver, the passengers who are carried on those vehicles, and also the pedestrians, motorcyclists as well. And for the drivers, don't drink and drive. That is suicidal. And also they should avoid overspeeding. That is also suicidal. Avoid driving while tired. And the driver should also avoid things that distract them while driving. We call that one destructive driving. And they must adhere to traffic rules and regulations. Observe road signages. For the passengers, they also have an obligation. If you are a passenger, tighten your seatbelt if you are in a public service vehicle. And where you happen to realize that the vehicle is being driven at a dangerous speed, then you have an option. And we have a toll-free number, 999, 911, and then 112. That is a command center number, where every member of the public can even call at any time that there is a vehicle that I'm a passenger and the driver is driving carelessly. You remember the incident of Miasenyi. There was somebody who was being interviewed at the hospital, and she had realized. Right. Thank you.
Thank you, Sana. And Paul.
Yeah, I think for me it's just to say that one life lost is one too many. The safety on the roads is the responsibility of everybody. Let us be patient with one another on the road. We will eventually get to our destinations. The court is committed, the judiciary is committed to ensure that justice is going to be dispensed speedily during this time. Thank you very much.
Paul Ndemo, who is the Deputy Chief Registrar and Judiciary Spokesperson, and also Dr. Frederick Ochieng, Traffic Commandant, NPS, Kefa Mungare, who is the Chief Principal Defensive Driving Trainer, and also Dorcas Rugut, who is the Assistant Director Head of Nairobi Region ODPP, and Stephen Karuga, who is the Head of Corporate Affairs and Communications at EACC, speaking to us about matters of road safety. This is where this conversation ends. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Mark Migwe. Vivian Ndegwa is up next with Women at the Forefront. Stay with us.